Bitcoin has finally had its halving, and some of these crypto gaming coins that have performed exceptionally during the last cycle are now coming back with their experience, with their networking, with their connections to bring brand new crypto gaming coins to the market. We call them Launchpads, and today I wanted to hone in on Sidus, one of the sponsors on the channel. So thank you for supporting, but I wanted to go over them very specifically because we don't just like let anyone get in here, because they're doing something that is akin to the early CeDeFi days. So if you enjoy this kind of content, as always, like and subscribe. I'm going to share my thesis in Launchpads, and let's get right into it. So let's go over the market and where we're at right now. Let me tell you, it's not always good to get into a Launchpad. A lot of the time when we're at peak bull cycle, you know, all these coins that are coming out are doing 50x's, 80x's, 100x's. Early bull cycle, it's a little bit flip-floppy. We don't exactly know when these crypto gaming coins are going to do exceptionally well. However, what we do know is that historically, around this time that we're in right now, Bitcoin has its exceptional breakout. We see here 3 times in Bitcoin's history. 2016 cycle, right after that, just ran up all the way from sub $1,000 to a lot of money. 2020 did the same exact thing to 60K. And then 2024, we're currently having the cycle before the halving we hit the new all-time high. Some people are saying it's an accelerated cycle, but I don't really think it matters in the topic of Launchpad crypto coins. Something else I would like to talk about before we get into Sidus is the performance of crypto just Launchpads in general. We see some of the big ones like DAO Maker expressing 1.56x ROIs on their bags currently. When it comes to these and when you're actually doing research on Launchpads, it's not really smart to look at current ROI, only because by this time, most of the plays that something like DAO Maker, for example, will have pushed out, they've gone and went, right? They've, in the 2021 cycle, they could have done an 80x, a 2000x. Nowadays, it's a different case. So that's just one of the many different Launchpads that exist. You know, CeDeFi is one of them as well, but they've done their thing when it comes to all-time high ROIs. It's about getting into these coins, taking profit on launches, and then, you know, rolling this over to the next play and the next play. There are several ways that you can do this. When it comes to Sidus, we have to go ahead and use a certain amount of tokens to be able to be eligible in Sidus's Launchpad, which they're calling the Sidus Pad. They currently have 2 coins that are going to be coming out on the Sidus Pad. The first one is Fury, which is Engines of Fury. They're having their IDO. They actually have $30,000 worth of cryptocurrencies that are going to be giving out. They have $10,000 worth of Fury, $10,000 worth of Sidus. How do we find if these are fair value? Well, you have to look at the valuations of some of the cryptocurrencies that have already come out. A very easy way of doing this is just kind of tracking some of these coins. For example, if you're looking at the average coin that comes out on Coinbase as a crypto gaming coin, we could look at 𝐿, which recently came out on a bunch of centralized exchanges, has a $611 million fully diluted market cap. Or maybe you want to go ahead and see some of the smaller coins that didn't get as much volume. For example, Castle of Blackwater, that currently has a fully diluted market cap of $23 million. When we're trying to look at something like what Sidus can provide for IDOs, I would say that the fair range for an IDO and FDV is anywhere from 50 million right now to 100 million, depending on the hype. Some of them will be much higher. Some of them will be 300 million, 600 million. But on average, 50 mil to 100 mil is the range that I am personally looking at these crypto gaming coins to be getting into them. However, you know, it's not only crypto gaming per se that Sidus is offering. They're also offering deepen plays. Verida is another one of the plays that Sidus is going to be going ahead and offering. And something I should say is I am likely to be investing into some of these coins only because when a Launchpad begins its life cycle, they really like to come out with a bang. It's not like Sidus wants to make their first crypto gaming IDO a complete failure. They want to make sure that this goes right. And so I'm expecting, at least, there is no guarantee in this world, but I'm expecting that these first few IDOs are going to perform incredibly well. You know, you're not going to get $3 million allocations. Maybe it'll only be a couple $100, but stacking your Sidus right now to be able to get into these is going to be a major play for a lot of people. If of course Sidus can solidify itself as one of the top crypto gaming launchpads in the space. Something else you should know is that the Senate token, which is the governance token for the Sidus ecosystem, has been listed on MEXC. A lot of people are fading this thing for some reason, not really sure why. It doesn't have too much utility just yet, but they've already said it's going to be governance. And we all know what governance coins do versus the more inflationary coins within the ecosystems. But before I go too deep into the inflationary rabbit hole, I do have to say that the Sidus token is being burnt a lot. They've been doing a ton of burns on Sidus. They actually had a proposal here March 25th to go ahead and burn a heck of a lot of Sidus tokens. They've done this before several times already, burning Sidus tokens on governance. So if you're trying to get into a token that is very much geared toward people that are not only interested in launchpads, but also interested in possible quote-unquote metaverse plays like Sidus Heroes, and interested in things like very innovative things that not a lot of people are trying, then Sidus is going to be one of those projects. Let me talk about one of those things that not a lot of people are doing. So Sidus Maze is one of the first ones that they announced pretty recently. It's a hardcore logical survival game. This is actually pretty cool. You can go ahead and join the waitlist at sidusmaze.com. But essentially the explanation for this thing is that you're going to be able to play games on your NFT. So whether or not you're on OpenSea, you're on Blur, doesn't matter where you are. On your NFT, you're going to be able to press the start button, and that is going to allow you to go ahead and play these little games. And they actually look pretty nice here, as you can see. I think Sidus is really just throwing a bunch of things at the wall and seeing what sticks. I like this idea though. I've heard it from a couple people before. I just haven't really seen it take off just yet. And you know, Sidus is one of those people that they're more than comfortable with trying new things out to see if it goes ahead and works. So that's Sidus Maze. They also have Cosmic Gears that they announced pretty recently by Frank Mueller, jewelry connoisseurs over here that developed the Frank Mueller collection. People are competing for $250,000 in Frank Mueller watches with a built-in crypto wallet, which I think is awesome. If Sidus is hearing, by the way, I would love one of those. That's all I gotta say. Like that looks freaking awesome right now. So people are competing right now on Cosmic Gears to go ahead and get this prize pool. Doesn't matter, you know, whether or not you have an NFT, you go on OpenSea, you grab it there. The floor price is pretty damn low, and see if you can get that for yourself. Something I should say about Sidus in general, and these burns, and you know, this maze, etc., is that their idea is not to just build out these products and then focus on the launchpad and everything else is secondary. They're very much focused on their AAA talent, and that's why Sidus Heroes continues to get developed. That's why we had Xena, which went ahead and did its thing. We have Tembazar, which is a browser third-person shooter, came out back in late 2023, and they have over 14 games in development, which is a lot of games to say the least. They actually have, and they're cooking over here with a collection over at Amazon. They built their lore off of it. When we look at Sidus right now at a $73 million market cap and $168 million fully diluted market cap, we see that in comparison to many of the crypto gaming coins that have been coming out, we have coins that recently came out like Gaiman that had over $1 billion FDV with a $50 million market cap. The circulating supply for a lot of these coins that are coming out right now are extremely low versus where Sidus is right now. And this is why people are generally speaking more comfortable with older coins that came out back last cycle. Their circulating supply right now is at the 9 billion mark, whereas your total supply is at 21 billion. So maybe it's not 99% circulating supply, but it is far enough along to the point where a good amount of their supply is out there, and that sell pressure that you'd come to expect isn't really there. So I'm expecting a lot more attention as their launchpad gets some successful IDOs. That's the thing about launchpad coins. When these launchpads come out, they have to kind of be a success, or else people aren't really going to be wanting to hold Sidus in regards to just launchpad. Remember, there's a lot more to this team than just launchpads, but I figured we'd cover the launchpad section of Sidus to best assess we're going to be expecting some of these IDOs to be going. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to Sidus. Until the next time, stay classy, and that's all.